Good morning, good morning, good morning. A little chilly out there, Lou.
Yeah, a little.
I'm surprised that I haven't
Are
had.
you happy now? Because I know you love the cold weather.
I like the cold, but this is a little extreme.
Yeah.
I took a walk a couple of days ago, just around the neighborhood, just to
Yep.
check out. I never wear a hat. I very seldom wear a coat. I never wear gloves. But boy, my ears started bothering me. By the time I made the loop to start heading back,
You never wear gloves?
I don't even know if I have a pair.
You never had a beer, and you never wear gloves. You don't have a pair of gloves. You live in New Hampshire.
I have gloves like for the working in the yard.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're not insulated or anything like that. Hey, you know something? If I get cold, I go in. I'm a no time schedule. I'm retired. Hey, you know something? Today, I'm looking forward to talking with this gentleman. I have a great deal of respect for him. Since I've met him, he's been basically my caretaker and my sounding board and everything else associated with having chronic pain. And there are so many people out there. The older we get, more problems are going to set in. And you know something, sometimes you don't have to be in such pain, especially with the technology changes going on. And, you know, Dr. Mirazeta, he's with us right now. And Doc, good morning. Welcome to the Sicilian Corner. And what I was saying, since you got your degree in pain management, I mean, the technology changes just in those few years has to be mind-boggling.
Yes, you know, I became an MD back in the mid '90s, and I cannot believe how the specialty has advanced just even in the last 5 to 10 years. Just as technology evolves in every other sphere of our lives, similar things have happened in medicine, particularly in pain management. So it's a very exciting time to be practicing. A lot of new options for patients in general. So yes, it's a really exciting time in pain management right now.
So besides being a doctor, you have to specialize in what else to become a pain specialist?
So typically, I'm an anesthesiologist in terms of specialty. So, you know, the way most physicians are trained, you typically do an internship in something. In my case, it was general surgery. That's your first year out after you graduate from medical school. Then I did a residency in anesthesiology, and then after that, I did a fellowship in pain management.
Wow.
So combine all of those things together, and many of us who do pain management are trained similarly. Some pain physicians have a background in neurology, some of them in physiatry, physical medicine, but most of us do have a background in anesthesiology as a baseline.
No, that's I was always wondering what the difference was. So years of schooling, how many years altogether?
So, well, if you add them up, it's quite a few.
You have enough fingers?
Yeah. 4 years of medical school, and then 1 year of internship in anesthesia. It's 3 years of residency and fellowship, another year to 2 years. So
Wow.
if you do research, then you can add on top of that. So, you know, you're talking about anywhere between 8 and 10 to 12 years total in postgraduate training.
Wow. Are you local, by the way? Did you grow up in the New Hampshire area?
I did not. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York,
Oh.
and right. So south of New England, but I kind of consider myself from all over, because when I was a teenager, my parents moved from New York to Ohio, and my dad started a business there, and for whatever reason, it took all of us to the Midwest, and so that's where I wound up going to medical school at Ohio State, which is in Columbus, Ohio, and then from there, when I was
team either.
Yeah, right, right. It's all about football in my family and in most of the state of Ohio. But when I was at Ohio State, I got a health profession scholarship from the U.S. Air Force, and so
Wow.
during medical school, I traveled all over the country doing rotations in the Air Force. I wound up doing my initial internship residency within the Air Force hospital system, so that took me to the Bay Area of San Francisco, and then for a time to San Antonio, Texas. That's where I did my residency in anesthesia, and then I was stationed at Langley Air Force Base in Virginia for 4 years,
Wow.
and then it was my fellowship at Harvard at Beth Israel that took me to Boston, and that's really how I wound up in New England. I absolutely loved Boston. I loved the whole Harvard system. I met some incredible clinicians there,
I'm sure.
and so then I started exploring the area. I didn't honestly. I had never even visited New Hampshire prior to that. My current business partner in the practice, Dr. Suchdev, was just starting a practice in Nashua, and he said, "Come visit, come see what I'm doing." And I tell you, back then, Route 3 was only 2 lanes each way. Remember
Yeah,
those days?
sure.
And and I remember being caught in a traffic jam as I was driving up, and it was like sitting in traffic for an hour. And then all of a sudden, I cross over into New Hampshire, and 2 lanes become like 5 lanes, and no more traffic. Beautiful green hills, and I was smitten from that moment. And here I am.
Yeah. There's a lot of pluses, a few minuses, but a lot of pluses. And the state inspection thing that we were talking about earlier, I'm glad that common sense has finally come back to reality, because getting rid of inspections, that's a disaster. I mean, people are bad enough now the way they drive, and if you don't have to change your tires, or you can't get a sticker because your tires are, they'll be driving on bald tires. They pile into you. And something, it didn't even make sense. I don't know who proposed it, but they're brain dead. They're brain dead. They really are. But getting back to the topic, tell us about Pain Solutions.
So Paint Solutions is my practice, and we've been in business for over 25 years, serving the community, mostly southern and central New Hampshire. We do take care of a lot of patients from Lakes region and even north of that make the trip down to see us in Concord and have their procedures typically done in the Nashua area. So our group has a total of 5 physicians. 2 of us are anesthesiologists. My partner, Dr. Suchdev, the 2 partners in the practice are both anesthesiologists. And then we have a neurologist, Dr. Kaufman, as part of the group. Great guy, super smart, does mostly EMGs and nerve conduction studies, which are very helpful in diagnosing
Sure.
different causes of pain, etc. We do have our own psychiatrist, Dr. Yadati, fantastic human being who has been with us for several years and heads up the mental health side of the practice. And Dr. Doherty, our newest pain physician, an anesthesiologist, joined us about 6-7 months ago. So we're loving having him around, and just an excellent pain physician. We also have a crew of 3 nurse practitioners that help us provide patient care, and then a whole staff of very skilled nurses and medical assistants and technicians that work on the mental health side of the practice.
Well, I have to compliment you and the other members of your staff, because the office personnel are absolutely superb. And a lot of times in some doctor's office, that the people that are behind the scenes sometimes leave a lot to be desired. And, they're doing a job that they may not love. And you can tell right away they don't have any patience toward the elderly people. But I'll tell you, I love to observe people. And while I'm waiting for an appointment to get in, whatever the case might be, I like to see what's going on in a particular office, and boy, I'll tell you, you've got some great people working up front that do the things that need to get done in a timely manner, and that's important to me.
I agree 100%, Mike. Our staff is second to none. We just have some awesome people working with us as part of the team. Many of our employees have been with us for years. Some of them even from almost the very beginning. We have one employee that who I love to death, Linda Childs, who's been with us from the day almost the day the practice started, and so that's over 25 years. And she's still one of the patient schedulers, one of the people that you may hear if you ever join us as a new patient. She's in charge of scheduling patients, and so her coworker Deb, also great human being. Just I can't speak more highly of my staff. Just proud to be working with them, and just true professionals.
What could one of our Sicilian Corner listeners expect on a first visit to the pain clinic?
So it's a pretty comprehensive evaluation. Typically, our patients come to us through referral, either a referral notice or a phone call from their primary care provider. And we do see patients who are just interested in coming to see us without a referral. That's simply initiated by, making a phone call through our website or connecting through our website.
The website number?
The website is painsolutions.net.
Okay.
So all one word, painsolutions.net. And there's a form on the website that people can fill out, and certainly the phone number. Our phone number is 603-577-3003. And so simple phone call, but however you get in touch with us, typically there's a intake over the phone with some basic questions, where the pain is, how long it's been there, that kind of thing. Okay. And then all relevant records that are pertinent to the problem, like imaging study reports, that kind of thing, are gathered. Then the first visit is set up with either one of our physicians or one of our nurse practitioners. And so the patient meets with one of the providers, goes through a pretty comprehensive evaluation that takes about 45 minutes. And we do a physical exam, get a history, go through the imaging studies, and then come up with a treatment plan from there.
Very thorough. Very thorough. Extensive. Physical therapy is done in-house?
Physical therapy is not done in-house, but we are co-located with a physical therapy practice that is excellent, takes care of a number of patients from local sports teams and so on. So very skilled. What I like about them, the practice is called Gate City, and what I like about them is they're very much focused on getting people back to doing the things they want to do, like getting them functional again. And they're used to that because they take care of a lot of athletes, and they're trying to get them back in the game. And that's the basic philosophy that I share. When even my elderly patients, I always want to try to keep them in the game as long as possible.
Yeah. For someone who's been around quite a while, like you have, a lot of people that'll come in, you've already seen and heard many of those complaints before. That has to be a big help to you. I mean, if somebody comes in and they're saying, well, I'm not feeling my right leg now, I got numbness coming down. And so, I mean, it's kind of, there's a pattern usually.
Yeah,
I mean, everybody's
absolutely. There's, obviously the experience does help tremendously, but there are very recognizable patterns, and as we say in medicine, common things are common. There are certain entities, chronic pain problems that have very recognizable patterns, and there are some unicorns as well, which we always have to keep our eyes open for. And that's what's nice about having a pretty comprehensively trained staff, where like our neurologist, Dr. Kaufman, you know, if, for example, something doesn't quite make sense and I need to map out and nerve studies, then I have the luxury of being able to refer in-house to somebody like Dr. Kaufman, a very skilled neurologist. But you're absolutely right, Mike. These patterns are typically recognizable, very helpful. Imaging studies are a big part of what we do, reviewing imaging and seeing if we can target the actual pain generator or source of the pain. That usually gives us the best results when we're right on target and we base treatment around what that pain generator likely is.
Okay. What are some of the treatment options that you do?
So most of the chronic pain we see is related to the spinal pain, whether that be from the lumbar region, the lumbar spine, or the cervical spine, the neck, sometimes the thoracic spine, the mid back. And so there are certain, you know, conditions and so on that are pretty common, especially as one ages. Something, for example, very common in the lumbar spine in the elderly is lumbar spinal stenosis, or narrowing of the spinal canal, which causes crowding of those nerves that come off the end of the spinal cord and leads to pain, typically when you're walking or standing for prolonged periods. So there are a lot of treatment options that one could consider that fall short of surgery. And you know, what we like to do at Pain Solutions is spell out all the treatment options, really based on the specifics of what's hurting, and because even something as common as spinal stenosis can manifest with different symptoms. So we kind of get the big picture and then drill down to what is bothering the patient most, and then target those symptoms to try to get them better, and again, try to keep them in the game.
You know, I sent out about 10 different email blasts to people that I know that watch the show in particular, and besides Facebook and YouTube and all that. And I mentioned the fact that that I am a patient of yours, and I just want to repeat that for disclosure purposes. And I'm not the easiest case in the world to be involved with. You're laughing, and I know why you're laughing. My back is a serious. It's a problem, and you know something. Ever since I met you, and I did investigate or check on 4 other specialists in the New Hampshire area, and I went with you because I liked the way people were talking about you in remarks and whatnot. And you know something, it was one of the smartest moves I ever made. And I say that not because you're with me. I recommend you to a lot of people. And you know something, and if you live in Massachusetts and you're a hot skip and a jump across, you're in Nashua, you got a brand new facility up in Amherst Street that's going to be awesome when everything moves over to one roof. Right now, you're right off of Main Street. That's where I go for my injections. And you know something, it's a godsend because I'm still very active, and I take nothing besides what you give me, what you put into my body. If things aren't working, I tell you right away. You'll say to me, how was this last 3 months? I'm the first one to tell you exactly, because I keep a little book. If I'm having a bad day, I kind of know. And keeping a medical diary is a good thing, isn't it, huh?
Very good, very good. Well, first off, thanks for the kind words, Mike. And I've told you in the past over the years that, and I tell many of my patients that I consider my primary responsibility more like a coach than as a doctor, in that I really feel strongly about keeping people functional and doing the things that they like and want to do, because that's what life's all about. And so we always target treatment at at that kind of goal, where we can actually measure progress and keep tabs on how people are doing in that respect. And so, when we think about treating pain problems like yours, there's so many different options which grow every day. And that's one of the exciting things about pain medicine, is that the technology keeps advancing.
I'm going to interrupt you right here, because when we come back, I want to get into those changes, but I'm up against a commercial break. Just stay with us, and we're going to be right back. Okay, Louis?
Ciao, this is Esther of You, Me, and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao!
Legacy Care Law Firm provides estate planning and elder law services to people in the greater Merrimack Valley and southern New Hampshire areas, with offices in North Andover and Woburn, Massachusetts, as well as Nashua and Salem, New Hampshire. Discussing family and financial matters with an attorney can be intimidating, but our goal is to help you prepare for the future as you preserve your legacy. We help clients qualify for government medical benefits and ensure their estates are preserved for their families, so they don't need to worry about their estate being wiped out by high nursing home expenses. Legacy Care Law Firm attorneys are here to support your journey toward a more secure financial future.
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Orthopedics Northeast and Essex Orthopedics have joined forces as Mobility Bone and Joint Institute to bring improved access and outstanding medical care. While our name has changed, our dedication to exceptional care remains the same as it has for the past 30 years. Same location, 16 Pelham Road, Salem, New Hampshire.
Play more, earn more, win more at Encore Boston Harbor. Sign up for Win Rewards today and score $50 in free play instantly. Score even more as you play your favorite games. New members will also receive $25 in free play for every 100 tier credits earned playing with your new Win Rewards card. Highly rewarding instantly. Visit EncoreBostonHarbor.com for more information. New members only. Further terms and conditions apply. If you or a loved one is experiencing problems with gambling and needs support, call 833-277-5050 or visit gamblinghelplinema.org to speak with a trained specialist. Specialists are available 24/7 and services are free, confidential, and available in multiple languages.
This is Cindy.
And Mike Kunstler,
Owners and operators of Four Oaks Country Club and Grazie Italian Restaurant in Drake, Massachusetts.
Grazie Italian Restaurant is the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
Why is that?
We have an incredible chef, Oscar Figueroa.
In the words of local famous chef and restaurant owner Lydia Shire,
Oscar thrives on hard work.
He is capable and gifted.
No one makes better food. Scallops, seared to perfection.
House-made ravioli with farm-fresh local corn.
And buttery, tender, lazy man's lobster, just to name a few.
You have to come experience Grazie Italian Restaurant for yourself.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club, 80 Meadow Creek Drive in Drake, Massachusetts. Hope to see you soon.
And we are back. We got Dr. Jim sitting alongside of us, and you know something? It's a pleasure to have you on board. We were talking about the changes, and there have been many, I'm sure, and you see them firsthand because you started, and all of a sudden this is coming in, and all of a sudden it becomes the mainstay of treatment. So what is the biggest change that you've seen in pain management, say in the last 5 years?
Well, I think the biggest change would be minimally invasive procedures that are designed to limit or offer options that fall short of surgery. And I think it's a really good trend in that, I liken it to the situation that existed a decade plus ago, where when somebody was having problems with their heart attack, that kind of thing, most of those patients used to go directly to surgery for coronary artery bypass grafting. And now very few patients go for that kind of surgery because there are stents that are typically placed to kind of tent open the arteries of the heart. So these minimally invasive options become more and more common, and the same has happened in my specialty, where there are certain implants and things like that that are now available that allow people to have an option that doesn't involve major open surgery with a long recovery time. And that sort of thing. So yes, surgery sometimes is unavoidable, but we have many options now that allow people to either postpone that indefinitely or avoid it completely. So some examples. We now have techniques that allow us to, in the case of spinal stenosis, for example, to open up the canal by placing these implant spacers in between certain vertebral bones that kind of allow for opening of that canal to give the nerves a little more space. We have we also have spinal cord stimulation, which is an electronic stimulator, much like a pacemaker for pain.
And that allows. Is that a TENS unit?
Not a TENS unit. TENS unit is similar in that it's also an electronic device, but extremely different in terms of complexity. Oh, okay. This is a spinal cord stimulation actually involves putting electrodes into the spinal canal that sit outside of the spinal cord and stimulate the cord itself electronically to block the pain signal from going to the brain. And so basically it replaces the pain sensation with a neutral sensation, or just a sensation that you can't even feel, and you just don't feel the pain anymore. So it's a pretty awesome technique, and that technology has advanced leaps and bounds in just the last 5 years. A lot, as you can imagine, just like your cell phone has increased in capability and shrunken in size, the same is true in electronics related to medicine, particularly spinal cord stimulation. We now have a lot of different options in terms of programming of these devices, and makes them very versatile and easy for patients to use. Another technique we do very commonly is called radio frequency lesioning. And this is where we create a heat lesion on the tiny nerves that innervate the joints of the spine. So many times as people get older, they develop arthritis in the joints of the spine, not only in the neck and the low back, but also sometimes in the thoracic spine. And we now have the ability to target those tiny nerves, test them first, make sure our thesis is correct in that, okay, is the pain really coming from these joints? If the answer is yes, then we can heat lesion these nerves, and people will get pain relief for 6 months, a year, or more at a time, just through a needle. So pretty cool stuff that is really is really interesting. Yeah.
I received a phone call last evening from someone who's a friend of mine. I'm not that close with him, but he belongs to the same society as I do, and he's been having trouble all of a sudden that he can't feel his feet. Is that more of a nerve type of a problem, neurology type, or what? How would someone deal with that?
So, a very common malady is peripheral neuropathy, where patients develop, burning pain and numbness in their feet. And one of the ways we make that diagnosis is by doing a special nerve test called EMG nerve conduction study, which we do offer in our office. And that's one of the ways we tease out exactly what the problem is. So really, the first way to determine the best treatment is to figure out what is the root of the problem. So that's the first step, and that's why an evaluation initially is so important when you have a chronic pain problem or a problem like the one you just described.
An MRI would be a big help in a case like that.
It depends. The best place to start is with a physical exam and history and evaluation, and then if imaging like MRI is necessary, then that can certainly be ordered, and other tests like EMG nerve conduction study. So yeah, it really, in a case like that where somebody's losing sensation in their feet and it happens rather suddenly, the best place to start is with a comprehensive evaluation.
Right. Like I said earlier, we're getting older and older and older and older. And arthritis is unfortunately part of the aging process. A lot of people suffer unbelievably bad from arthritis. Is there anything outside of like meds that you could do as a pain specialist for arthritis?
Yeah, I'm a big believer. I have a multi-pronged approach to arthritic conditions that I typically will talk to my patients about. I'm a big believer in the anti-inflammatory diet, we're lucky as Italians. Yeah. Yeah, believe it or not, the old adage, you are what you eat, I firmly believe that is largely true. One of the advantages we have as Italians is we tend toward a Mediterranean diet, which has proven to be, it can be very anti-inflammatory if you make good food choices. One of the most potent anti-inflammatory things you can eat is actually is high potency olive oil. So, first batch processed olive oil that
nice
is like from Yep, nice and green, very peppery tasting, unlike any kind of olive oil that you typically buy in the supermarket. But this olive oil tends to come from small farms, single batch trees where the olives are picked and the oil is created within days of picking and then bottled immediately. And anyone who's ever had olive oil like this knows the difference. It's like night and day from from what you typically get served. But anyway, that kind of olive oil is very high in polyphenols, and polyphenols have been shown to be very anti-inflammatory. So I personally and members of my family, I have on this diet prescription, I'll have 2 ounces of high polyphenol olive oil a day, and I typically pour it over my lunch and I'll eat that, and I think it has made a huge difference in my life in terms of aches and pains that I used to wake up with every day. So things like that, if you simply Google anti-inflammatory diet, high polyphenol olive oil, the sources are the large number of sources. The thing to remember is just consider the source itself, make purchases from reputable businesses. And but I'm a big believer in the anti-inflammatory diet, so I always start there. I also firmly believe in exercise and staying active. Simple things like walking and trying to get your daily steps in per day. 5,000 plus steps a day is something I think is a worthy goal for all of us. I like the European tradition of going for a walk after every meal. As a matter of fact, I do it myself at work. So I purposely don't bring lunch with me to the office, because I like to walk a couple of blocks away to the hospital, go to the cafeteria, get my lunch there, and then walk it back to the office. I kind of build in a walk around my lunch meal. Things like that, very simple things you can do that really make a difference in terms of quality of life.
No, getting back to what you said about the olive oil, people really, I love it. You give me a good extra virgin olive oil, I go crazy. And something, in the morning, a lot of times, those little cups, little paper cups that you would put pills in in the morning if you're taking pills. I have them in my kitchen area, and I probably take at least three ounces or more of extra virgin olive oil, and I pour it into that cup, and I have it every morning. So I was very surprised when I heard you say, no, that's good. I thought, it was something that I was on, and
wait a second, go
something.
over that again.
I'm sorry?
3 ounces of olive oil and what?
Just drinking a little bit of.
Oh, okay, just the olive oil straight. Okay.
Yeah.
You can. It's. I'll warn you, Lou. If you're not used to it, it is very strong and peppery, and almost burns going down when you drink this kind of olive oil. For me personally, I pour it over my lunch. It mixes really well with broccoli and rice dishes, because those things kind of tend to absorb it and soak it up. But I tell you, the flavor, right, Mike, is unbelievably good. And you'll stop. I know I crave it. Yeah. I actually crave the taste.
It's funny, this conversation just came up personally for me about olive oil and just consuming olive oil. And the reference on that point was fighting cortisol, reducing cortisol.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It has. Well, it's getting a lot of attention because there are a lot of studies now going on looking at high polyphenol olive oil. And now, like if you go on Amazon and you search high polyphenol olive oil, all the different brands will post their lab tests. They'll test the batches and list the level of polyphenol in their olive oil. And I one of the nice things, added bonuses of the popularity of this olive oil has become this finally small family farms in Italy and other parts of Europe are benefiting from this, because now they actually have a market for their oil that they used to be overlooked, and now that people recognize the benefits of this, it's really helped small family farms and so on. So that's an added bonus. But now it used to be hard to get I've been doing this now for well over 3 years, and 3 years ago, there were sourcing it was very difficult. Now, all you can get it from Amazon, many different brands. You can get it all over the internet, directly from the farms themselves, that kind of thing. So the key thing to remember, though, is polyphenol content, and the good sources post their lab results. They'll test the batches and then post the results.
Yeah. I had you scheduled to be on with us for 2 segments, but I know your schedule's tight. Could you stick around till noontime, or are you going to run?
Yeah, I certainly can stick around till noon.
Louis, we're going to bypass Mikey Tell Us More segment.
All right.
One of these years, I'm going to get to it. And
it's only been about 3 weeks.
It's only been 3 weeks. But this is interesting. And I know a lot of people are interested in what you have to say. And may I say good morning to Nancy DeMarco and Roger Trudell and everybody else that's out there listening. Thank you. And we're going to take a quick break. Doc, you're going to be with us until noontime.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
My pleasure. Sure.
Ciao, this is Esther of You, Me, and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao!
Legacy Care Law Firm provides estate planning and elder law services to people in the greater Merrimack Valley and southern New Hampshire areas, with offices in North Andover and Woburn, Massachusetts, as well as Nashua and Salem, New Hampshire. Discussing family and financial matters with an attorney can be intimidating, but our goal is to help you prepare for the future as you preserve your legacy. We help clients qualify for government medical benefits and ensure their estates are preserved for their families so they don't need to worry about their estate being wiped out by high nursing home expenses. Legacy Care Law Firm attorneys are here to support your journey toward a more secure financial future.
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Orthopedics Northeast and Essex Orthopedics have joined forces as Mobility Bone and Joint Institute to bring improved access and outstanding medical care. While our name has changed, our dedication to exceptional care remains the same as it has for the past 30 years. Same location, 16 Pelham Road, Salem, New Hampshire.
Play more, earn more, win more at Encore Boston Harbor. Sign up for Win Rewards today and score $50 in free play instantly. Score even more as you play your favorite games. New members will also receive $25 in free play for every 100 tier credits earned playing with your new Win Rewards card. Highly rewarding instantly. Visit EncoreBostonHarbor.com for more information. New members only. Further terms and conditions apply. If you or a loved one is experiencing problems with gambling and needs support, call 833-2750-50 or visit gamblinghelplinema.org to speak with a trained specialist. Specialists are available 24/7 and services are free, confidential, and available in multiple languages.
This is Cindy,
And Mike Kunstler.
owners and operators of Four Oaks Country Club and Grazie Italian Restaurant in Drake, Massachusetts.
Grazie Italian Restaurant is the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
Why is that?
We have an incredible chef, Oscar Figueroa.
In the words of local famous chef and restaurant owner Lydia Shire,
Oscar thrives on hard work.
he is capable and gifted.
No one makes better food. Scallops, seared to perfection.
House-made ravioli with farm-fresh local corn.
And buttery tender lazy man's lobster, just to name a few.
You have to come experience Grazie Italian Restaurant for yourself.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club, 80 Meadow Creek Drive in Drake, Massachusetts. Hope to see you soon.
And we are back. You're listening to the Sicilian Corner, and on board with us is Dr. James Mirazeta, and he's from Pain Solutions, and they're conveniently located in southern New Hampshire and other areas. And you know something, he's my doctor, and he's full of information, and we're going to get back to him right now. The treating chronic pain with pills, that seems to be getting cut back considerably, right?
Yeah, I think in general, you know, the what was more common years ago, before we fully understood the problems that were inherent in that kind of treatment, where emphasis was on pills, analgesics, particularly the opioids. It really has created some serious societal problems, and you know, when weighing the risks versus benefits, which is something we do in medicine all the time, really opiates for chronic pain in general have fallen out of favor in large part. There are certain, you know, patients that have no other options, and that can really be in a situation where they have no other choice, and that's certainly understandable. But in general, we tend to emphasize other non-opiate treatments, and because I think we get better results and fewer problems and happier patients, which is our bottom line goal. So there are alternative medications that are useful for treating chronic pain that are not associated with dependency issues and addiction issues, that kind of thing. And those are part of our toolbox. But really what we tend to focus on in our clinic are alternatives to being on chronic medications that may have side effects that limit somebody's lifestyle and cause other issues. And as we mentioned earlier, now that we have so many new options, we're relying on medications, chronic medications, less and less. something just recently that became available in our clinic. I don't know of any other facility around that has this option. It's something called magnetic peripheral nerve stimulation, and this takes a large coil magnet and pulses the soft tissue with magnetic energy. So it creates a magnetic field, much like an MRI scanner does. And this pulsation of magnetic field around the painful area can often lead to lasting pain relief. So
Wow.
it's completely non-invasive. So the coil is about the size of a dinner plate, and the technician simply guides the coil over the painful area, and the sessions last about 12 to 15 minutes. And
That's it.
patient typically goes in once or twice a week in the beginning, and then we come up with a treatment plan that they can get it as often as they need it. But what's nice about it, doesn't involve needles, it's non-invasive, doesn't involve any kind of medications, won't make you sleepy or anything like that, just helps with the pain. So that's called
awesome.
magnetic. Awesome option, magnetic peripheral nerve stimulation.
Doctor, I'm guessing one of the biggest frustrations in your business is patients come in with pain and you talk to them about the pain and try to figure out what's going on and say, well, how long have you had this pain? Well, about 3 years. It's like, oh, what? Why
Yeah,
wasn't it here sooner?
Exactly. It is much easier to to have treatment success when we intervene sooner rather than later. I know it's human nature in many people to put things off and say, I'll just wait it out. It will get better on its own. And, oftentimes
That's what it is. I'm getting old. That's just what it is. Yeah.
Right. And just chalk it up to just getting old. But refreshingly and happily, that's happening less and less. I've seen that in my career, because as people today, as they age, are much less tolerant of downtime. They want to stay active longer. They want to do the things they want to do. They want to participate in sports and go to the gym. And so we're seeing that less and less, actually. And I have patients in their 80s, 90s who come to me and say, well, this is hurting. And when I used to commonly hear, well, I know, what can I expect? I'm 90 years old. But it's actually much rarer to hear that these days, and I'm here for it. I'm happy about that, because there are often things we can offer that will make people much more active and productive, even in their 90s and beyond.
Do you come across many cases of severe depression because of chronic pain?
Absolutely. Depression is actually a very common comorbid state. And in other words, a very common thing that we see alongside a chronic pain. And it makes sense, because if people are suffering and they're trying to manage their pain problem, they get discouraged and depressed. And I think it's certainly very understandable and easy to see why that would happen. So in days past, when we would emphasize the physical pain and try to treat that as the main issue, where these days we try to treat both entities at the same time. And we have a lot of options in our clinic. We have added over just the last few years a mental health component. We call it Oasis Therapeutics. And you can learn more about that on our Oasis website. It's Oasis NH, NH for New Hampshire, oasisnh.com. And we have a good list there of different treatment options that we have for treatment-resistant depression that has not been responsive to conventional antidepressant medications, which, oftentimes are only 30-40% effective. We have new technologies now that are much more effective than traditional oral antidepressants. One example, something non-invasive and pretty cutting edge, is transcranial magnetic stimulation, what is termed TMS. And TMS is very interesting. It's a treatment that involves pulsing the brain, a certain area of the brain, with magnetic energy. And this treatment over time leads to chemical changes within the brain that result in lasting antidepressant effects. So you have a treatment for depression that doesn't involve drugs, avoids the side effects of most of the drugs, which can be significant. I mean, traditional or oral antidepressants can be very sedating, can have serious sexual side effects, and so all of these things added together make people somewhat reluctant to be on them long term. Well, now we have an alternative to those medications that avoids all of those things, and allows somebody to use a non-invasive treatment that has really impressive results. Something that I see all the time when I'm covering that clinic, and it's very gratifying to see people respond to these newer treatments.
That's good to know. Yeah, when I got hurt back in 1984 with my back, it was a big nut because I was up for a big promotion, this, that, and the other thing. And, I didn't go to one place for an evaluation. I went to 4. I was in and out of Boston hospitals. I went to 4 different ones because I wanted to avoid surgery in the worst way. And unfortunately, everybody had the same opinion. You have to have it done. And it bothered me. And then having it and, doing well for, 9-10 months. And then all of a sudden it fragmented again because they added bone mass to my back. I went through a serious, and I'm an upbeat person, that. I went through a serious area of depression, a certain time period, and I was feeling sorry for myself, which is not like Mike, not at all. And I'm really very, very positive. I always think good things are going to happen. But I know exactly what you're saying. It's the mind can play terrible games. Terrible.
It's very demoralizing, especially if you're an active person that likes to stay busy and compete in sports or go to the gym and just
work
very
in the
high
yard,
functioning,
just normal
work
thing.
in the yard, right? Exactly, just normal everyday things, and then all of a sudden that's taken away, and you can't do that anymore. It plays, it wreaks havoc on your mental health. So it's something that absolutely you should speak up about if you're currently getting treatment for chronic pain. It's something that we ask our patients routinely. As a matter of fact, it's there's a statement on the bottom of all of our intake paperwork where and it asks specifically, are you suffering from depression or having any mental health challenges? Because we want to give people a way to to let us know, to communicate to us that they're suffering mentally, if they are having that problem. It gives them a way of getting their message across, even if they feel uncomfortable about discussing it verbally during the course of a visit. So I encourage everyone that is struggling with a chronic pain problem to be open with their providers about discussing any kind of mental health challenges that they're dealing with, because there is good treatment available.
Yeah. We're having some technical problems here in the studio. So for those of you who are probably watching us, you see that we're frozen here. But Doc, you're still alive. Now I'm back, I guess. For a long time,
Yes.
I was just sitting there with my mouth open. That's not good. That's not good. I want to really, I appreciate everything you do. And I give you a lot of credit. I think you like helping people. 2, I think you really enjoy working with the elderly, which is good, because so many times many people in their 80s and 90s, they're kind of dismissed, you know. They come in with a problem and say, you know, how bad can it really be? Ba bum ba bum ba ba. But you know something, you're a good listener. And I think to be a good doctor, I think you have to be a good listener. You know,
I agree with you, Mike, and I think it's part of the job, and I'm happy and feel privileged to do this job. And you know, taking care of human beings, to me, there's no higher honor than that. And I really enjoy my patients, and what I enjoy the most is seeing them get better.
well, once again, I want to thank you for joining us here at the Sicilian Corner this morning. And we hope you can come back, and maybe next time we can get you sitting right here in the studio. And, you know, something, you bring a lot of information to the table. And I hope some people that have been questioning, going back and forth, you know, should I follow this, or is it just because I'm getting old? You know, there's still a lot of quality of life left in a lot of people. And sometimes people give up too early, in my opinion.
Agreed.
You're never going to be, if you have chronic pain, you're not going to be pain free. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, but you can manage your pain and lower the risk and still be able to do what you want to do. And it might be a little bit lower to the degree that you used to do it, but you know something, you're enjoying life. And that's what this is all about. Doc, always a pleasure. Dr. Jim is in the house. Hey, before you know it, you'll be firing up that Airstream, baby. Huh? We'll
right,
get that
right. I'll look
moving
forward
down
to
the
that
highways and byways. All right.
Well, thank
Hey,
you for
listen,
having me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Hey, you know something? I love having you with us. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And next week, we'll be doing a show from Sicily. And all the damage that got done, I mean, that cyclone that went through Sicily caused all kinds of problems. And we're going to be broadcasting from Sicily next week with Esther. And, you know something, I hope you can join us. Take care, everybody. Ciao.
Bye-bye.